Okay, securing hay bags outside. So we filled our hay bag, it's all closed safely, and we want to secure them outside for the donkeys. I'm in the donkey paddock now. Do not use this ground as an example. I would never put a net here if the ground were like this. They wouldn't be out here. But let's pretend that that is dry and their feet can stand in that for hours while they eat hay, meaning it's not mud. What I do, what I want to do is I want to make the hay bag so that it stays in one place. So with the donkeys, I utilize a rail and a post. This way, if you go like that, and donkeys are fairly easy. If you just do it that way and you clip it there, make sure it's secure between the knot and the closure. This way it can't slide up and down all over. If you do it here, it can move. Well, maybe not that much, not here in this spot, but other spots, yes. So just as a general rule, get in the habit of clipping your clip between the knot and the opening. And now test it, right? I'm going to test it. It can't come over the top, and it can't slide down the fence either way. It can slide back and forth a little bit, but it's not going to go from here to here. So that's okay for it to be there, all right? You also, if this is a little too muddy and it's okay for them to be out here, there are spaces along the fence along Main Street that you could use the wire to use. And like thread this through the wire. I pretend there's wire here, you put it through the wire over the top, and then I just go through another piece of wire here and do that. That's if this isn't doable. That's donkey hay. Okay, tying hay bags outside for the horses in the barn lot. This is really the only place we put hay bags, well, the arena, but probably not while I'm gone. All right, same concept as always. It's always going to be the same concept. You want to tie it in a way that it's not going to slide on this bar back and forth where they're chasing their hay up and down the bar, or where it can't flip over the top and they can't really reach it. I have a specific way that I tie it. I'm going to do that now for the video. You do not have to do it the way I do it. All I ask is that you check yourself when you're done that it can't flip over and it can't slide. Those are the main things. And then I'm going to show positioning out here as well, because there's some places that hay bags should not go for safety reasons. But now I'm just going to show you how I tie them. So here's a panel and a hay bag. So I'm going to go underneath, not the top bar, I'm going to go underneath this bar, the second bar, because as far as I've checked myself, if this goes under here, this bag can't reach over the top. If you tie it to here, it can flip over the top when it gets, especially when it gets more empty. So that's just the first hint I'll give you. You want to go under this panel, whether it's here, or but you want to go underneath at least this bar. You don't want them too close to the ground, because when they're empty, you don't want this net on the ground, or a foot can, or a blanket or something can get caught in it. So you want it off the ground, but not able to flip over the top, not able to slide back and forth. So here's how I do it. I go underneath, I go across, and I go kind of like a little figure 8 thingy, and then I go behind that and I clip it. Now, this bag can move back and forth, but it can't slide, and even when empty, it can't fit over the top. And even when empty, it's not going to be on the ground. So like I said, I've seen it done different ways. Steve does it a way where he goes under here and then he just wraps it really tight there and clips it. It works. I don't really care how you do that, as long as you check yourself and you make sure that it doesn't slide or flip. Okay, where to hang bags outside in the barn lot and where not to hang bags outside in the barn lot. This is for safety reasons, especially if we have 3 mares and 3 donkeys together. We want to position the hay in a way that they'll be safe. If you have enough hay out here, they're okay. Okay, so we are at this panel right now. I'm going to refer to the sign and the tree so we differentiate. This is the Spring Thaw Way panel, and it's the one that is closest to Main Street. The one that is closest to Main Street. Okay, you may hang hay nets on this side of the panel where the sign is. A-okay. Here or here, doesn't really matter. You may also hang a hay net to this side of the panel. Either way, it faces the barn. However, please, everyone, never, ever put a hay bag on this panel that faces directly to Main Street, or on this fence for that matter. The reason for that is this is a narrow walkway. It is not even wide enough for a horse to stand here safely and eat. But if you get into a commotion over who's going to get the bag that's here, it could be an injury. So never, I don't know if I can mark it, but do not put hay here or here. Anywhere that there's a corner or a tight space, please avoid hanging hay there, because you're drawing more than one animal possibly to get into something in a tight space. Okay, now we're at the other panel. So this is the panel that, if you look at the sign, it's Zip in the Straw Street. Whatever. That's Straw Street. This is Straw Street. At any rate, this is the panel that is closest to Barbara's pastures or the outdoor arena or our indoor arena. Okay, there's really, in the winter time, because of drainage problems, in the winter time there's really only one part of this panel that can be used, unless it's dry or frozen. Unless it's dry or frozen. This gets very wet, and in that slippery, very slippery mud, takes a long time to dry. Miff is lame, Gus is lame. I don't want him scurrying in the mud. This, if you can see from the shot you're at right now, gets very wet and very muddy and very slippery. So I really don't want a horse on that mud, A, for their feet, but also for safety. Train! So no, in winter, no. In winter, no, maybe. If it dries out, maybe, but no. So really on the straw panel, this is really the only side that is safest. And again, pick here, tie it how I showed, but it's okay to put hay here. It's got a little bit of a incline, so the water does drain away from here better, and then it pools there and there. So yes, hay, 2 spots there, so you can do 3 bags on these panels for the winter. And then I'll show you a couple other spots in here that you can space it out. This is an alternate place for hay, even if it was just the mares. Miff likes to come over here because it's kind of far away from the mean girls, and she can just eat. So I use either this one or this one, and I'm only going to do this while I'm talking. You see where I am? I'm at the gate by the alley, facing out towards the outdoor arena. I just put the hay under the fence, around this post, and if I do that, it's enough to keep it in place. But this generally is a spot for Miff to go away from all the riffraff. Okay, so that's another alternate spot if you need extra spaces for hay. If this ground is not a soaking wet puddle, this is a spot I found. Now this fence is not all that secure, so don't secure it to the fence. However, with a pocket bag or this bag, this tree is pretty solid, and if you just simply go, I went through here, I think, yep. If you just go like that, it can't slide. I suppose it technically could go over, but it's an extra bag. It's not your main bag. But this tree could help for another spot if the ground is dry. Okay, here is yet another alternate spot to hang a bag, and I do this especially if I have all 6 of them together, meaning the donkeys can't be in their turnout, and so we want them out, and this drains faster. Obviously not in ground like this. I don't want anybody's feet standing in ground like this, but nobody's out today. I'm just making the video today. But this is a spot that apparently the donkeys have eaten more wood than hay. But if you back up a little bit, you'll see where we are. The telephone poles are right here, are right on either side, and that's Main Street that way. You can really pick this one, or that one. The donkeys generally come here and they share one bag together, and it's okay. And if they get chased off it, there's one mare here, but there's so many other places it doesn't really tend to be a problem. Okay, this is just for a visual. Sometimes all of the extra areas to hang hay bags are not doable, like I just pointed out. It's muddy, it's wet, I don't want our feet standing in that for hours. The strip of this barn lot that dries the fastest is between the telephone poles. Just using it as a visual guide. If you make a line, these 2 here, I'm at the side facing Main Street, going towards the arena. It's very foggy today. If you just have a visual line of the telephone poles on this lot, not the driveway, that's gravel. If you need to put some hay on the ground, you can put 3 separate piles of just 1 flake each or half a flake each. Line it away from these poles a bit, maybe up here, one in the middle, and one further down. That is a place you can put 3 spots of hay without hanging a bag. It just, you know, check it before you put it down. If it's a soupy mess like it is right now, no. But this will dry out ahead of everything else on this lot, and they'll be, at least their feet will be in dryness.